All right. All right. Well, initial reaction, UFC Fight Night in Charlotte. Interesting card, to say the least. We're going to keep it pretty quick recap. Talk about the fights. Talk about some interesting things that happened. Some highs, some lows, the thrill, the agony. What are we thinking?
Some great fights, some weird fights, some weird referees and commission stuff as per usual. Overall, I enjoyed it, and I gotta say this: I love the midday cards, man. I love it. I don't have to stay up till 1:30 in the morning. It's like I just get it done. I love the midday cards. That made me happy.
I love the midday cards. Keep them coming. But Charlotte showed out, and one person who trains out of Charlotte was on this card. Brian Battle got it done in 14. It says 14 seconds. I thought it was 13 seconds, but either way, very quick, very to the point, and gets the dub in his hometown.
Yeah, I mean, when you engage in a firefight like that right out of the gate, you didn't let your chin warm up at all, and that's what happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But definitely good for excitement. Moved the card right along. Happy he got to do that in front of his hometown.
Yeah, feel good moment. Shout out Brian Battle. Great knockout, great win. Got the card bumping early, and next fight on the card kind of stalled out the crowd because of some interesting judging, officiating, whatever you want to call it. Ji Yeon Kim, probably botched that, and Mandy Bohm. I don't know. It was weird from beginning to end.
Yeah, look, I mean, Kim hit the Spartan kick after the round, which like isn't cool, but at the same time, it's not like the first time we've ever seen that. It's a little heated. These girls are fighting each other. The referee decided to take a point in between rounds, which is like really freaking bizarre because now what round are the judges supposed to take a point, right? Because it happened right at the beginning of the second when it really probably should have happened at the end of the first. I don't know. Kind of weird to take a point for that anyway. Then, I think it was the second or even the third round, Bohm, to me, and again, we won't really know, looked like she was getting her ass beat, right? Then she's against the cage, takes the knee to the head right at the end of the round. And she did this thing, man, like I cannot stand when fighters do this thing. Because her initial reaction was like, oh man, what the heck? And then all of a sudden she looks at the ref and then the doctors and then the commission and then she goes, oh. And it's like, what? It's so cheesy, bro. And then the doctors come in. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "I think it's like I got hit
like I was in a
something.
Fight or something."
And it's like, yeah, it's like it's just so. It's like the weirdest way to try to win a fight ever. Like ever. She knows she was losing that fight. She wanted to do whatever she did. They call the fight off. The referee takes another point after the fight's over. They had to take the scorecards away from the judges, give them back because they had to explain to them, no, actually, you got to take another point. And then she goes and wins the fight. I'm kind of happy she got booed, man. That's pretty lame. I don't like that. Just take your L like a champ, you know? Just take it on the chin. Do better next time. Like you got beat and you looked for a way to win. That's not a good way to get any fans.
Just not a good look for her. Not a good look for the commission either. I mean, it was pretty... It was just all around. Not a good experience. Not a good look. And you could tell that the UFC hasn't been in North Carolina in a while because every state has a different commission. So obviously this commission is a little less experienced and we kind of saw some of that. But we move on. We move forward. It happens. I mean, it shouldn't happen, but unfortunately, it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Tough fight. Tough fight to just tough fight. Rough.
And was Stamens right after that?
Stamens was right after that. Cody Stamen versus. I don't even want to say that name. It's too long. Andrade.
De Silva de Andrade.
I'm going Andrade.
Because I think it's like the whole thing. It's like De Silva de Andrade. Bizarre, but whatever. that fight was actually a very interesting fight. Like, it was kind of fun to watch anyway, and like, good game plans. But it's the same thing, man. First round, Stamens gets a takedown, and there was like the kind of Stamens gets the takedown, and then he kind of gets like this is why I don't like when you look to the referee to try to like, get your point or your foul or whatever, right? He gets like, it was like a push kick. It's not like he got kicked in the head. It's not like he got hurt. It's not like something like crazy happened that changed the course of the fight, right? But he looks up and he's like, oh, that wasn't fair. And then it's like, okay, well, then you got stood up. Granted, the ref probably should have put you back down where the position was, but you're the one that complained. You could have just stayed there and not done any of this, but you look to the ref to make a decision. The referees, obviously, throughout the night were kind of like unsure, especially in the prelims. Like, those referees just, they don't have enough experience and as much practice as some of these well-known reps that we know. And the referee's like, oh, shit, I'm supposed to do something. So they step in, they stop the action, they set him up again. You know what? And Stamens lost the fight. I mean, Silva de Andrade was throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him. Like, it was a pretty entertaining fight. But like, that's why you got to be focused, man. Like, why you're like supposed to be in a fight. You're not supposed to be like worried about the rules. That's why the ref is there. Like, yep. Just do your job, and then just
fight. Yeah, just fight.
But here's the funny thing: he's gonna try to overturn the decision. Well, the way I scored it, he lost rounds 2 and 3 anyway. So even if he did win that first round, what the difference does it make?
Yeah, questionable. I mean, do what you can, I guess, to try and get the win back on your record. But at the end of the day, it's a fight, and you have to go out there and win regardless of the circumstances. If you don't have to look to the referees and the judges, then you should avoid them at all costs and try and win the fight via finish and try not to bother with it.
You need to act like they're not even in there. Like,
right.
You should be fighting. That's you fight until the referee tells you to stop. You don't stop and ask the referee to stop it for you.
Yeah, you just can't do that in a fight, and such is life, I guess.
Yeah.
We move on. Cody Stamann and the women's fight. Tough look for both of those
weird,
fights.
Yeah.
But
just like weird.
Yeah. Just weird. But we cap off the prelims on a high note, at least for a lot of fans. We got Matt Brown getting the knockout victory in round 1 over Court McGee. One punch, and it was over. Matt Brown doing things.
Yo, tell me that don't make you feel good, bro. Look, Court McGee is a cool dude and a good fighter, and like, I'm a fan, so it's not like I'm not happy that he's got beat. But right. Matt Brown, a legend of the game, 42 years old, bro, just goes in there with the salt and pepper hair and just dropping dudes. Like, that to me is the coolest thing ever. Ties Derek Lewis, the knockout king, for the most knockouts in the UFC. Matt Brown, man, God, dude's a legend, bro. It made me so happy. I was like, I was freaking out, bro. Like, that's just the coolest thing. I love that.
We need a video reaction of your reaction to that knockout. That would have been phenomenal. But ties the knockout record with Derek Lewis, as you said. Shout out to Matt Brown, still doing the damn thing at 40-something years old.
Love it.
What a guy.
Love it.
Can't complain about that being on the... I mean, that should have been on the main card, if I'm being honest, but great way to cap off the prelims.
Yeah, for sure. But I tell you what, the main card kind of...
It was good. It was solid.
Yeah, it's good. Good card. It's not like it was weak. If it was weak, then I'd say, hell, but put my boy Matt up there. But, like, it was a good card.
It was a good card. And where do we start? Alex Morano got the submission over Tim Means, another vet. Seems like Alex Morano is a guillotine specialist. He loves the guillotine. And he jumped on the neck, and it was pretty much a wrap.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about that fight.
Wrapped it up real tight. I love the Dirty Bird, man. He's another one. Tim Beans, I'll always be a fan. Love his style, love his boxing, love his wrestling, love his jiu-jitsu. I love watching him fight. I'll watch him fight until, he decides to hang up the gloves. Morono, man, is a dude's making some noise. I think he's finished like 3 out of his last 4 or something like that. Like he's making a lot of noise in that division, and I hope he gets a ranked fighter soon because he's looking really good.
Yeah, he's getting finishes. He called out Brian Barberena, if I'm not wrong, in this post-fight interview. They both love the strike, so I'm here for it. Give us a striking battle, and that'll be an entertaining fight for sure, I believe.
I'll watch
15 minutes. Next on the card, this feel-good moment for me. City Kickboxing on top, as always. Carlos Ulberg getting the first round TKO over Ihor Potieria. I think that's right. I hope that's right. But I'm gonna be honest. As you said earlier about you don't like seeing people, you don't hope they get knocked out or anything like that. I'm just happy that Carlos Ulberg got the win in this one, partially because I'm a City Kickboxing guy, but partially because I hate to see our boy Shogun Rua, who Ihor fought in his last fight in Brazil. Ihor took him out, and then I wasn't a fan. Just wasn't a fan of the post-fight celebration from Potieria on Shogun, which left a sour taste in my mouth. So it was kind of everything coming full circle.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, I'm okay with. It's funny. There's like a line that you can't cross. There's just a line, man. Like when Izzy did it to Poatan, not a problem. Both of these guys are in their prime. They kind of had a history, and like they did a little thing. You're talking about the legend Shogun Rua, who's like an older Shogun, and he's like back in Brazil fighting, and you just put him out, and you're gonna like, do it's like that one was kind of distasteful. Like it just came off wrong. So I'm with you. I'm like, comes back around sometimes, and it's like comes back around sometimes. City Kickboxing doing the damn thing, man.
Always doing the damn thing. Hopefully Carlos Ulberg gets a ranked opponent next. I think he deserves it. He's been knocking pretty much everybody he faces out. I don't see why he wouldn't get a top 15, maybe one more. But however, we move forward. City Kickboxing moves forward, and another win leads us into the welterweights. Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod versus Ian Garry.
Oh.
Before the fight, I think I said it to you. I was kind of leaning D-Rod. Like, I was pulling for him to win. I don't know. I just like Daniel Rodriguez. I'm a fan. And I don't know. Ian Garry proved me wrong. He shut down that claim or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love D-Rod too. I think he's just kind of that gangster SoCal vibe, and I dig it. And he's got the tattoos, and he's a banger. He loves to just get out there and fight, and I respect him a lot. And I said it to you while we were talking about it. I just thought Ian Garry was too clean of a fighter, man. His IQ and his technical skills are just like, they're really good, man. And I'm happy that Ian Garry finally got somebody really good that he could like showcase his skills. I'm sure he's going to be in the rankings after this fight. And Ian Garry's fun to watch. So is D-Rod, don't get me wrong. Speaking about what we said before about what goes around comes around, I think D-Rod got a little lucky against the Leech. I thought Li Jingliang did, I thought he did enough to win that fight, and D-Rod got it, so he just wasn't as lucky tonight. Caught Ian Garry kicked him in the neck.
Yeah, and can't take a shit to the head. It's just not gonna work out.
Just put him on the ground. Ian might have hit him in the back of the head a couple times, but when you're rolling around covering up the way he was, it's like you're gonna take a couple. But Ian Garry looked incredible and basically cut right through a very dangerous fighter in D-Rod. So shout out to him, and he looked great.
He did look really good. I mean, D-Rod doesn't get put out like that. The only finish he has gotten in the UFC I think it was by submission. He doesn't
Sub.
get TKO'd like that. So
was it Neil Magny?
It was Neil Magny, I want to say. I think.
And Neil Magny finds a way to like submit everybody because his arms are like this. They're freaking long.
Yeah, but Ian Gary, really impressed me with his striking because before this, I wasn't completely sold. I knew he was really good, but this kind of solidified that he's really good.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, I'm on board.
I'm excited to see what's next. I'm excited.
Big time.
Shout out Ian Gary. Co-main event of the evening, light heavyweights. Johnny Walker gets the dub over Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Strange fight. Another strange little fight we got going on here. Anthony Smith just didn't want to check a leg kick tonight.
Oh, my goodness. I was screaming at the TV. Check the fucking kick and, like, pick it up. And I'll tell you what, I didn't pick this up, right? But I was listening to the commentators, and I think Dominic Cruz got the read. He was looking for the check left hook, which is why he had his leg angled in the way that he had it. Instead of turning it out for that kick and losing some of the steam on that check left, he kept it in. Which, okay, if you want to keep your left hook, fine. Pick up your leg, man. Because, man, like, look, I love Anthony Smith, and he's a great fighter, and he's smart, bro. Like, and that's why I think I'm so bummed about it. It's like, you're smarter than that. Like, his breakdown skills, like, he's not a dummy, bro. The guy's got, 60 fights? It's like, you know better than to just take all this extra damage. Like, we know you're tough. We don't need to see you, like, you just had surgery on your leg, and you're just going to let this guy kick your leg off and chop you down. And I had nothing against Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's been, he had his skid, and now he's starting to build up a win streak again, so I'm happy for him. But it's like, Anthony Smith, it might be his last chance at, like, getting towards the top, and if he ever wants a title shot, like, he's got to string together some wins. I can't imagine him fighting much longer, and this is just not the way I wanted it to go for him. It really, to me, it seemed like after that first round, his leg was dead. He had no movement, and it almost looked like he's so tough. So I'm not trying to, like, no disrespect, but it seemed like it broke, like, the pain or whatever, like, broke his spirit a little bit, because it's like he just couldn't, like, get it going. He was throwing, like, single shots, looking for, like, one big knockout shot. His movement was gone. His wrestling was telegraphed. Like, it seemed like he just kind of, his wheels fell off, man. And he just had nothing, no answer.
With all that said, great game plan by Johnny Walker. I mean, can't take anything away. In the era of calf kicks, he did just that. He kicked his leg off and stuck to a game plan and won the fight swimmingly, 30-27 in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you could hear Kavanaugh through the cage, like, kick his leg off, break the leg, like, over and over and over. Kick the leg, circle out, kick the leg, circle out. Like, that was literally the game plan. And
when there's no fear of a check coming your way, you can just
didn't check.
Kick.
That's what I'm
rip them with no fear.
That's the funny thing about it. We could always sing the praise, like, wow, you had a great game plan. Yeah, sure. Check 2 of those kicks in a row and watch how quickly that game plan changes.
Yeah.
He didn't change.
That's it.
By the third, you could tell he started picking it up, but, like, he wasn't turning it out. He wasn't like reaching it. He wasn't trying to meet it. He just was, like, letting his leg get kicked off. And it's like, damn, bro. Like, I love crazy fights, but I don't like seeing somebody just get, like, beat up.
Yeah.
You know? It was, like, kind of a bummer.
Yeah. It sucks. You feel bad. But what are you going to do? I mean, Johnny Walker got the dub. He had a great game plan, and he did what he had to do. Shout out to Johnny Walker. Yeah. I don't know what Anthony Smith does from here, because I believe this was going to be his last start to a push for the title. So now what do you do after you just lose in that fashion? I don't know. You go back to the drawing board and you think about it. So
yeah,
hopefully, I don't know.
And we said we were gonna do this quick and we didn't want to get too deep into these conversations, right? But it's true though, because now he was in the top 5, just had a loss to Ankalaev, was gonna do his last little push, right, to get to the title. Well, now you got 2 losses in a row. Johnny Walker's probably gonna take your top 5 spot. Now you gotta probably beat 1 or 2 super dangerous cats in the top 10 to like ever have a shot again. And it's like,
yep,
I don't like seeing fighters get to this point in their career, man. It's like, it's scary because then it's like a gambler. It's like, oh, if I could just win one more, and then it's like, it's usually a bad sign. And I love Anthony Smith, bro. So it's like, bums me too.
Yeah, but it's a steep hill he's gonna have to climb if he wants a title shot in the future.
Yeah.
But we'll see where he goes. Shout out Johnny Walker again. Good co-main event. I mean, can't complain. Good fight. But leads us into the main event, and Jailton Almeida is a problem for everybody. I mean, did we think it was kind of set up in the matchmaking for the fight to go like this, to give Almeida that boost up, with giving him a striker in Jairzinho Rosenstrike? But there's one thing to get thrown a curveball, and it's another thing to hit it. So he hit it out of the park.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Jairzinho is no joke, and he could have easily touched our boy up, and that would have been. And so it was a dangerous fight on both sides. It's just one of those classic matchups where it's like, well, if one of them can get through their game plan, they're probably going to win. And it was interesting because Rosenstrike like threw off that first double leg attempt, like within the first 5 seconds. It was like, oh shit, this might be a long night for Jailton. But you know, like he had that wrestler mindset, and it's like shoot, reshoot, shoot again, and got him down. Once he got him down, Rosenstrike had 0 answers, like 0. Like he wasn't.
It was survival.
It was 100% like, let me try to not get beat up. Let me see how long I can keep him in my half guard. Like it was not. There was no like digging underhooks, trying to get up to a knee, trying to wrestle up. There was none of that. It was literally like, let me hold on as long as I can. Jailton cut through the guard, got to the mount, dropped 4 or 5 heavy strikes. Sunk in the choke, man. It was easy. Like that's how, if you're Jailton Almeida, that's how you want every single fight for the rest of your career to go. That's the game plan, my boy. Just keep doing that, bro. Because then we're gonna cash the checks. We can fight next week if we want to. Took 0 damage, and you know, sometimes obviously the fans like some more drawn out fights, like to see people get challenged, like to see a little bit of a back and forth. But if you want to be like the best guy in the world and make lots of money and win lots of fights, that's got to be the way you do it, bro. You don't want to you don't want to be one of these guys that has to go through a war to get a victory every time. The fighters will respect you and the fans respect you for that. But like, let's think about it. Would you rather be a millionaire and like not have brain damage? Like for me, the answer is yes.
I like that. I'll take that one every day of the week.
I'll take that. You know what I mean? It's like he barely broke a sweat, bro. Took him down, past his guard, punched him a few times, and choked him out. Like, here's your bonus money, my man.
Yeah,
like that's the way to do it.
That's been every Jailton Almeida UFC fight throughout his career thus far, and if he keeps doing it, he'll be at a title shot soon.
Well, and do you know how old he is?
30-something. He's in his 30s. I want to say like younger 30s.
I thought he was even maybe in his 20s, but I'll tell you what, man, because he just has this like, I don't know what to call it. It's not like an attitude. It's almost like an aura.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that same thing. Yep.
He really does. He has this thing about him where he like knows that he's going to pick you up, put you down, and sleep you. Like he just knows it. It's not like, oh man, I'm about to go. He doesn't look like a guy who's about to get into a fight with a really dangerous guy. He looks like a guy who's about to get into a fight and he's like, I'm gonna
It'll be over in a few minutes.
He's like, don't worry, Mom, I got this. Like, it just seems like he's like, the confidence pours through this guy. He's so ripped up, and he's shredded, and he looks good, and he's gigantic, and he just has the skills, and like, this is a dangerous man.
Doesn't move like a heavyweight. He moves like a welterweight.
Yeah, man. But he's got the power and the pressure of a heavyweight. Yes. So it's crazy. Like, and when you really think about the rest of the division, if you take out like Blades, because obviously Blades has a great wrestling and he's gigantic too. But like, I could see Jailton cutting through most guys basically the same way he just cut through Rosenstruck. I
agree.
And I don't know what Rosenstruck is ranked, but I would probably like
he
6.
Was in the top 10. He was in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it's like 6 or 7. I don't know, but it's in there. And you know, I mean, think of who's
the only matchup that really intrigues me would be Tom Aspinall against Jailton Almeida.
Ooh, that's a fight, baby.
A jiu-jitsu player's dream fight right there.
That's a fight. Didn't Aspinall just got matched up with what, Tabora?
He did, Tabora, I don't know his last name.
No, Marcin.
Or that is
Tabora.
His last name. Marcin Tabora, yeah.
Who's extremely dangerous. But Aspinall's a monster, and he's just like the new breed, which I love.
Right.
So, and the same with Almeida. Like, Jailton's the new breed. I would, you know, again, not to get too deep into like the division and all this stuff, but like, somebody's got to fight John Jones. And if you don't make it interesting, if you don't make yourself interesting, he's just going to like probably beat Stipe and retire. And like that would be kind of like a travesty. Like, I would love to see John Jones beat the heavyweight defense record. I think that would be a great way to stamp himself as a GOAT. He's already done it, but it would just be cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, why not? Like, just to break all the records. Like, that's what I would love to see John do.
Yeah.
But he's not going to fight these really dangerous guys unless they like do something special to make it a big deal. The whole reason he came up to heavyweight in the first place was to fight Francis because he's the freaking Predator. And like, that fight didn't happen. And if every fight's going to look like John Jones and Cyril Gane, he's going to be like, I'm good. I don't really need to. I'm
what's
already
the point?
Good. For what? Like, exactly. It's like, why? Like, I could beat all these guys in my sleep. Or they're super dangerous guys and nobody knows who they are. So now I'm going to have like a loss on my record to Sergio Pavlovich. And in 100 years, it's going to be like, wait, what happened there? Yeah, exactly. You know, and no disrespect to Pavlovich. He's great. But it's like, you get what I'm saying? It's not like these legendary names that John's had the rest of his career. So to risk a loss this late in his career, it's got to be for something special. It's got to wake him up. It's got to make him feel like it's worth it. And, you know, Tom Aspinall, Jailton Almeida, they have a chance right now. They better start winning fights and calling him out and like make it a big deal, because otherwise, because Stipe hasn't said a word in a year, hasn't said a word. They're supposed to fight 3 different times already. And it's just like, what's going on? It's like people are losing interest. And John went and did the whole thing and put on all the muscle. And it's like Francis left and Stipe is like a fireman and a dad. And it's like, come on, man, we got to get something for Jones. I wish one of these young cats would just do something, keep doing spectacular shit.
Yep. All right. Yeah, we went off on a tangent. I'm pulling it back.
A little bit.
Tonight's for Jailton Almeida. He did his thing, got the submission win. He's in the top 10 now. Who does he give next? You guys let us know. Who do you think he gets next? I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. But we're wrapping it up. Initial thoughts, reaction to what is this UFC fight night? Charlotte.
Good card. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Strange card, good card. I had fun watching it. So
yeah, exactly. I was entertained.
Exactly. But clocking out from here. That's our initial reaction. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next episode.